Hey, ladies and gentlemen, HarlequinCoHO here, bringing you another 1v1 awesomeness game here for Company of Heroes Online. In the south position, we have our infantry commander, ObiwanKenobi. I've seen this guy's name on the ladder quite a bit and was always wanting to see some of his games, so I am happy to take a look at this today. And in the north, we have his opponent, Addas, A-D-D-A-S, Addas. I'll call him Addas, that sounds about right, who's going to be playing as the Terror Commander in this. So let me just take a quick look here, give us the quick rundown on ObiwanKenobi, and see what's going to happen in this top ladder infantry versus terror matchup. By the way, ObiwanKenobi, top 5 player, or maybe he was 6th, I think, when I looked at him, and Addas, when I looked at him, he was like 9th for 1v1 commanders for their doctrines and whatnot. So we'll see that ObiwanKenobi is going ahead and he's got his demolitions engineers right away building this barracks. Well, they were the second unit he built. Meanwhile, he's taken some time to go ahead and cap this sort of thing. So let's take a look and see what he's got for skills. He has the forward barracks ability, the camouflage ability, ranger reinforcements, infantry attrition, and artillery strike. I honestly think that that's one of the most effective infantry layouts in the game at the current state of things. And I know, everyone's like, oh, but this is so abusive, and oh, it's buggy, and oh, they need to fix it, and nerve it. Yeah, whatever. You know, sorry to be so dismissive of all of my fictitious, people opposing this, but whatever, man. It's a beta. It'll all get balanced eventually. But for the time being, that is definitely, if you are climbing the ladder and trying to get wins, I really think that that's one of the best infantry loadouts you can get, especially infantry attrition. It is so harsh. So that being said, let's take a look over at Addas here and see what he's done. Right away, he got the Bargain Volksgrenadiers. Bargain Volksgrenadiers level 5. Very, very cheap and extra hit pointy units. And then following them up right away, this is a very common combination that I see. Venerable Volksgrenadiers, level 5 as well. Venerable Volksgrenadiers are like old folks and kind of crippled people, but they're a lot cheaper, but they don't move as slowly or anything like that. But when you get them to level 5, they become like normal normal Volksgrenadiers again. They have this nice little sprinting ability and all that sort of stuff. So these guys cruising right along with the Bargain Volksgrenadiers. Very cheap, economic, efficient beginning. And you can see, just chasing down this little engineer here and shooting him right away. And see the Bargain Volksgrenadiers and the Venerable Volksgrenadiers kind of fighting it out here with these Gladiator Riflemen. Another good hero unit to point out for you all. ObiwanKenobi has his Gladiator Riflemen level 5. They have elite armor, they can throw sticky bombs and hand grenades, they can sprint and break suppression, that sort of thing. Fire up is actually the ability, not sprint, because it does slow them down after it wears off. And he just kind of does a drive-by of this whole place, realizes that he's kind of awkwardly positioned. You can see those units kind of stumbling through the streets, not sure where to stop exactly. And so he just keeps on going and caps his fuel point. And I kind of like that idea because basically, it just forces Addas to have to, pay attention up there all of a sudden and kind of defend that area. Meanwhile, regular old rifleman on the way out here for ObiwanKenobi. He's got the standard 3-item army item layout here. It's got the sight range, the hit points and the accuracy, or the armor and the accuracy. But they are all getting the heck on out of here because there's just too much focus fire coming from these 2 squads of hero Volks along with the Pioneers. So we'll see the rest of the Pioneers retreated back here and are being reinforced. Machine gun team on the way out. So I haven't had a chance to look at his abilities yet. Propaganda, Inspired Zeal, Terror Officer, Forced Retreat, and King Tiger. I like most of those except for the Forced Retreat. I'd honestly rather see a Firestorm. I just love the Firestorm ability. I know you've got Firestorm with the Terror Officer. Forced Retreat is just tricky. However, in the, with consideration to the meta game, i.e., retreat, retreat, Venerable Volksgrenadier, get out of there. There he goes. You can see this good use of propaganda here, just totally slowing down and reducing the accuracy of all the units in this little dotted red circle area here. But with respect to the meta game, Forced Retreat is actually a pretty cool idea, just because of the fact that it does a really good job at, kind of mildly countering infantry attrition. And by the way, somebody asked me the other day while this firefight's going on. just pause this for 1 second. So we've got some good action going on here. I don't want to miss it. But somebody asked me the question, what do you mean by metagame when you say metagame? And when I say that, I mean any information that happens that you take into consideration that influences your build that comes from outside of the current game. I.e., if you scout someone and you see what they're building and then you react to that, that's in-game information. But if you simply know in your head, oh, every time I fight ObiwanKenobi, he does the following, or I've seen his replays, or I just know that infantry tend to do infantry attrition, that's metagame knowledge, and that's all that I mean when I say that. So the metagame kind of tends to evolve alongside the actual game, i.e. as people get more used to what does it mean to fight an infantry commander, you know, that sort of stuff. So, Bargain Volksgrenadiers doing a little G-bag in here, fighting away with their sandbags right in front of them, and looks like the rest of these riflemen kind of backing off for the time being. And we will see accomplished Volksgrenadiers. So, a third hero unit Volksgrenadiers out now. We have the Bargain, the Venerable, and the accomplished Volksgrenadiers. So, huge amounts of hero units out there. Accomplished are more standard. They have more hit points and dodge and things like that. And now getting backed up here by this machine gun team, which has a really good, an impressive amount of army abilities here as well. 30% sight range, 15% damage, and 10% armor, or 10% reduced damage. So, taking a look around, you can see these wounded pioneers here. Oh, getting immediately capped. ObiwanKenobi placed his riflemen under camouflage, and when they bust out of camouflage, they have attack speed and movement speed and that sort of stuff. And they just were quick to cap all those pioneers out there. So, meanwhile, still fighting along up here, putting some pressure on these riflemen. We'll see really nothing new here for ObiwanKenobi. He hasn't done too much differently, and pretty much the exact same is true here for Addas. Just heavy fighting going on up here. Looks like one machine gun team moving in. You can see we've got double machine gun teams in. Oh, nice flank going on by the Gladiator Riflemen, charging in, firing themselves up and charging off this heavy machine gun team. I like what he's doing here. Notice he doesn't just run these machine gun team back home. He actually moves them closer to his own army, knowing that these guys will have to eventually get tired. And now he's putting the, oh my god, hand grenade! Oh, 3 kills for the hand grenade for the Gladiator Riflemen. But now the Riflemen do have to march all the way in here through this propaganda, and we do have Inspired Zeal active. Inspired Zeal gives bonuses to these squads based on the number of units they've currently lost. So these units, for instance, are each getting 3 times the bonuses because they have each one of these guys has lost. You know, this squad is missing 3 people, so each guy's got triple bonuses on him. This guy's now got 4 bonuses on him, so it really, you know, compounds as you get smaller and smaller units here. Same thing going on here with the Bargain Volksgrenadiers. Each one of these guys is now getting 1 bonus. Now they're each getting 2 bonuses. That's kind of the ideal amount there. Either 2 or 3 guys gets pretty effective, but it makes it very hard to kill them off too when they're low. So, where's the map at right now? It looks like good, strong center control. Was pretty good. Addas did have pretty good center control, and after having lost and retreated all that, and just kind of having light center control now, with a nice, scary army of infantry, we've got these cloaked riflemen moving around here, along with the gladiator riflemen for Obi-Wan Kenobi. Meanwhile, we have a little passive-aggressive warfare going on over here. It looks like this one remaining pioneer is trying to set up his mines and not be too accosted by anything else out here. It looks like the cloaked riflemen are doing their thing, though, not breaking cloak and capturing this point. And the Gladiator Riflemen took a little bit of fire up here. And you see this great combination of triple hero Volksgrenadiers along with, it looks like 1 machine gun team since he lost the other machine gun team. And where did that machine gun go? It looks like it became property of the U.S. Army. Where did that go? I could have sworn somebody picked up a machine gun somewhere. There it is! Look at that. Heavy machine gun. German. Only used once. That sort of thing. So, gonna have to retreat out of the way. And the rest of the infantry now putting some serious pressure up here. Also, a little weird side note here. These guys are so bloodthirsty. These are really top players playing against each other. Notice, no victory points for anybody. In fact, having, you know, pressed ObiwanKenobi all the way back into his base, Addas still isn't content to even begin trying to get victory points. You'd think like, oh, wow, look at the kills going off here in this. Oh, God, the whole Gladiator Rifleman squad completely just walks into this group of buffed up with Inspired Zeal units and that sort of thing. A heavy machine gun team needs to set up for a second. Please set up. Such a big squad. Look at this, but luckily there's no grenades or anything they have to worry about. However, there is a camouflage flank coming from behind here. Oh, and very quick to throw down the the propaganda now, keeping everybody here running away. they're going to just have to get on out of there. So propaganda still being used constantly. At 40 munitions a pop, that is not cheap either. You're kind of using that every time you could, use a couple of grenades practically. So these guys are going to have to get out of here running a little too close in. Looks like we got some dropped Browning automatic rifles and that sort of thing. And here is that German hardware being put to good use by the U.S. Army. MG42 now kind of suppressing the venerable Volksgrenadiers out of here. We'll see if they can sprint away from there. I don't think sprint actually breaks pinned or anything like that, because it's not quite the same as charge up. Meanwhile, just a little bit of passive-aggressive warfare over here on the left. And things have calmed down for the little while here. So these guys are going to have to get out of here. You can see he did activate that sprint, which is why their vision is reduced and their movement speed is increased, and they're just going to have to get on out of there. So what do we have now? We have a Sturm Armory going up. So Addas has been quick to research everything he needs. Looks like these are going to be some Berger's Panzer Pioneers coming out. If you are not familiar with that, that is the triple Pioneer hero that also has a Panzerschreck. And really, really weak machine gunners here, but they're kind of doing their thing. Nice little pin going on here. He's really kind of sticking ObiwanKenobi in his base. But ObiwanKenobi is not too put off by that because he has camouflage. Good use of camouflage. And just to change things up a bit, I'm going to swap on over to Obi-Wan's view, so pay no mind to the colors changing on the minimap. And we'll see that he's aware that these venerable Volksgrenadiers are over here doing their thing. And this hit squad is just out to get them. Really, really aggressive. But like I said, nobody has even tried to get their victory points yet. Everyone is just trying to kill the other player. There we go. Attack, 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 doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo, and very quick to run away. Quick reflexes there. And weak little heavy machine gun squad, and the accomplished Volksgrenadiers. It looks like, unfortunately, they never finished reinforcing because they're only 4 out of 5. And could it be that these riflemen found a mine out there? I think so. And that looks pretty much like what would happen. And these guys are retreating home, so most likely, yes, they did that. In fact, missing one rifleman, got one kill. Yes, I think that's what happened exactly. So, where does that leave us? So the HMG team here, did it back away? Where did it go? I think it retreated. I think that HMG team had to get the heck on out of there. Yeah, they're there. They had to back up quite a bit because they are quite wounded. Look at that hit points on that. That's the average hit points across 2 people is that much. But it's okay. They can still do tons of damage here. And going to pick off some of these troops and get them pinned a little bit. And they're going to have to retreat right back across the field of fire, right back across this whole squad of hero units. And, on the subject of hero units, I know a lot of people are like, oh, those are so broken. Oh, we can't get those. Oh, that's unfair. And I think it's important to keep the long-term stuff in mind as this happens. Oh, look at the reverse effect happening here as the MG42 is just pinning all of these guys. We got the Inspired Zeal going up. We do have a little bit of propaganda down there. Again, using propaganda pretty much constantly. But this crossfire is way too much, especially with the Browning automatic rifle from these guys under green cover here. They're all just kind of crawling away. Frankly, I'm surprised he hasn't retreated them by now. But Inspired Zeal is active, and that is providing them some pretty good cover here. So we'll see these guys moving around. But like I said, on the subject of hero units,